Hello, travelers. Welcome to Lorespire. Here in this live stream, we're going to be taking another look at Expeditions Rome. This game releases tomorrow, and we did live stream it yesterday. I was able to get an early release review key for the game. This is the first time we've been able to do that for the channel, so that is awesome. Thank you, THQ Nordic, for providing that for us. And anyways, so I am playing the final version of the game, not just the demo. And yeah, so far it's definitely awesome. The combat is really in depth. You know, the voice acting is very well done, and the story's maybe a little slow in the very beginning. But we're about 9 or so hours in right now, and it's definitely starting to pick up. And on the stream last night, I believe that we decided to classify this as a, oh, is it historical strategy CRPG, I think is what we decided to go ahead and call it. Because it does seem to strive to be historically accurate, and with its weapons and gear and what might actually be possible. It's certainly not a fantasy Rome. It is a Rome that's based in the actual history of Rome. And then, of course, it is a CRPG, and there's a grander strategy element to it.
You know he won't.
Where you control armies and you have to take over provinces.
You don't see what he's like when we're alone.
You know, things like that, manage resources. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at with this game. And I wanted to stream it a little bit longer for anybody who wasn't able to make it into our stream last night. Maybe get a little better look at it, another look at it. People on stream last night seemed to be enjoying it quite a bit. And yeah, I think it's very well done. I mean, as long as you're not somebody that just needs high fantasy elements in their RPGs, you know, magic, monsters, and that sort of thing, then I would definitely suggest this as a game to pick up based on what I've experienced so far.
You are still here? For the life of me, I cannot fathom why.
So right now we're actually supposed to be finding a way to dispose of this man, Theophilus. He's the leader at the temple here, the Temple of Apollon. And he's also an ally to our enemy. But we can't just outright kill him, because then the people will turn on us and so on and so forth. And we want to control the province, not make a bunch of rebels out of them. So we're supposed to find some type of poison or some way to anger him enough to attack us, you know, something to where we can kill him either without people knowing or in such a way that it appears to be his fault and we were only defending ourselves. Anyways, how's everybody out there doing on this fine Wednesday morning?
2 days now. The healer is always busy when I come.
You know, why don't you, if there's even anybody in here, just You know, put some fire emojis or something in the chat if you're doing good. You know, something let me know that your day's going well. You know, definitely appreciate that. This here is Zenobia. And she's actually the one who came up with the idea of killing Theophilus, and she's going to take over and support us instead of our rival after we find a way to do that. Alright, so I'm going to put this to track, and with it tracking, maybe it'll help give us an additional clue. A lot of times we'll get one of these little white and red square diamond pop-ups in the direction we're supposed to go, though it does not seem that we're getting that this time.
It's good to see you again. What do you seek?
You must be out on important business to be walking about so late. My stall is still open if you need food or medicine. I suffer from insomnia. It is better to spend my night reorganizing my wares than to lie awake in bed. I liked him better when he was just a priest. Why has he sent our soldiers to besiege Kyzikos? I have family in that city. After the proprietor died, people say he was corrupt and elitist. I don't know about any of that, but at least he did not make war upon our neighbors.
Perhaps Alexios here can, No, there's nothing else for me to say or do. That's two people that we found that don't seem to like Theophilus very much, but they're not giving any clues or answers as to how to dispose of him, unfortunately.
You know he won't. How long will you let him string you along like this? You know he won't. How long will you let him string you along like this?
You only see it from the outside. You don't see what he's like when we're alone.
He would have married you a year ago if he was going to.
The story is old as time, huh? Doesn't matter if it's ancient Rome or modern America. Suppose that'll be going on as long as humans exist. Maybe there's somebody over here. Something. Oh, what's this?
Listen, there's a dull quality to our footsteps here. I think there is a chamber beneath our feet.
Okay. So, what? We need a pickaxe or a hammer or something to... Go talk to Rhiannon again. This is actually Theophilus' slave.
Again?
Never mind. Or perhaps not slave. The disciple. No way to enter these doors. Hey, this is something that I maybe could have done without in the game. Either maybe a little better direction so we know where we're going and what we're doing, because this is really kind of slowing down the pace of the game. Oh, wait. Maybe we found something here. I didn't realize we could go back here through this area.
What's this? Secret messages. Signed by Mithridates. Theophilus is secretly corresponding with the king.
With these letters in hand, I could potentially forge a similar letter. That way we might be able to lure Mithridates away from his men. But we should discuss this under more private circumstances.
Alright, well, it looks like we found one way to possibly get rid of Theophilus. And for that, we need to return to our camp so that Cineros, it seems, can forge some documents. By the way, Mithridates is our enemy here in this province that we're trying to overthrow, that Theophilus has been supporting. Alright, well, for now, let's go ahead and head back to our camp. And we're going to get him to go ahead and forge those documents. And I believe that should move our story along now. But it would be nice if they maybe at least made those chests a little more visible or something. Your Praetorians may leave your party if their approval drops too low. Your closest companions will never leave. Alright, so let's speak to
I've been examining
Cineros.
those letters we found hidden in the Temple of Apollon. I am confident I could forge Mithridates' handwriting based on this. It's certainly worth the attempt. In the worst-case scenario, he will see through the ruse and stay put. But if he does take the bait and come alone, we could apprehend him then, solving the matter with no bloodshed. That is another option. I shall begin at once. It will not take long, I think.
Needs
All
a
right,
break.
let's see what we've got here. New recruits that we could recruit if we wanted to. I don't see anything especially interesting here about any of them. Well, this one does already have 4 traits, which is kind of nice. But I don't think we actually need to hire anybody. We already have a full Legio weak tricks. So we're good on that. Still no new upgrades. If you lower an enemy's morale enough, they start behaving irrationally and may even flee off of the battlefield entirely. Yeah, morale's a real thing in this, and yeah, they may flee from the battle. Sometimes they'll end up attacking their own allies. So managing morale's definitely something to consider. Dun 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 dun.
You know he won't. How long will you let him string you along like this?
Oh, we're actually supposed to be going to Zenobia. I believe is... Yeah, there she is. Yeah, we'll follow our little diamond square here. I should have done to begin with.
Good to see you again. Any news about our agreement? Oh, this is a clever ploy. I didn't expect this at all. Very good. Yes, I believe I can ensure this letter makes its way to him. You plan to kill him there? To be honest, I am relieved. Asking for Theophilus to be killed was not in my nature. It was an act of desperation. Removing him without violence is vastly preferable. Theophilus will get this letter from Mithridates. I trust you will take it from there.
All right, well. Perhaps in another playthrough we'll play the part of assassin. But not in this one, it seems.
You are still here. For the life...
All right, well, I suppose we're waiting. All right, we gotta go meet him, duh. Okay, here's that battle that we've been waiting on. The Pontic army is attacking Legio Weaktrix in the Musia region. All right, now this is actually the first time that we've had to participate in one of these battles as a defender. Although it does seem to pretty much be exactly the same, at least as far as I can tell. So anyways, whenever we're starting a battle, we have to pick a commander. You look here and they kind of give you the chances for success. Success chance 100%, survival chance, which is the chance that this commander survives, 90%. Manpower retained, so that's going to be how many of your troops survive, so you want that as far to the right as possible. And then loot amount, this is going to be how much loot you get from the battle. You also want this as far to the right as possible. Yeah, we might actually go with this one because it's almost exactly the same, except the loot's better. And anyways, the last thing here is Insubordination Risk, which is the number of troops or the amount of your troops that will try to flee during and or after the battle. So you not only have to worry about your troops dying, but also about them fleeing, not wanting to be a part of, the war anymore. So you want to make sure that you're picking somebody with the low insubordination risk. And all of us right now have 0. This is not only based on your commander, but it's also based on your morale, which right now is only -7, which is about the highest that it's been, so that's good. All right, so we're going to choose this general. All right, now in battles, you have to choose stratagems or formations. And they'll just give you a little description right here. And then below that, it shows what it actually does or what it actually means. Aggression is basically like attack power as far as I understand it. And of course, so right here we would get plus 20% attack power, but we're going to have we're going to suffer -80 to -40. So basically an extra 40 to 80 of our legionari are going to die, our soldiers. But we'll do more damage. Player defense over here, 10%, and risk to Centuriones, which are basically your commanders that we were just looking at, is -10%. So we get a boost to defense and lower risk of them dying. Or protected flank, which is the risk to the commander. Now, I'm not actually sure what the difference between commander and Centuriones is. There is a codex. Maybe I'll have to look that up later. Unless the commander is actually us ourselves. but I don't think that we participate in these battles. At any rate, I think we're going to take the plus 20% to our attack. Oh, one last thing to consider. As the battle goes through, you got this scatter threshold, and you want to get the enemy army past this scatter threshold. If you get their amount of life, or number of troops, I guess is a better way to describe it, down past this scatter threshold, they are completely destroyed. If the battle finishes and they're above that scatter threshold, then the army will still exist and it will just retreat and reinforce other nearby enemy armies. Alright, so we're going to go with Maniple Channels to get the extra 20% damage. Okay. This right here is kind of the weakest part of the game, where it's showing this and this, just kind of giving you a little animation of the battle. We're going to auto-resolve this because I think these animations are kind of lame and they just take up time, and I don't find them very interesting at all.
Battle is joined. How should we proceed?
And so if we auto-resolve, then it's basically just going to skip the animation, and it's going to bring us to the stratagems or strategies that we can choose, which are the only real thing for us to do during the battle anyways. Choose which type of strategy we want to use at certain points in the battle. So we've engaged the enemy, we can choose which way we want to attack them. And I think we want to charge. I like charging, although it does cause us to lose more units. It causes them to lose a lot more than we do. More soldiers, I guess. Legionari. Alright, now we're going to auto-resolve this phase of the battle. Alright, so they're deploying their tactical reserves. Alright, we're gonna go with our own effort. Okay. So we've won the battle. We can decide what to do here. And I've been choosing Celebrate pretty much every time. You can see here that we got them past the scatter threshold, so the army should be completely destroyed. If the army was not completely destroyed, then I would be using this give chase here to kill off as many of them as I can so they don't go and reinforce our enemies. If we had taken some huge losses, maybe we would show mercy, because we do get some units, some soldiers back, and increase to manpower. If we show mercy, some of them will join us. But I feel like we're still going to celebrate, because morale definitely affects our effectiveness in battle, and we can actually get our morale positive, and this will be the first time that our morale has been positive in the game. And yeah, anyways, also, as you can see here, each point of morale adds 10 points of strength, you know, so that's definitely important to how effective your soldiers are.
Sinite milites exultare.
Anyways, that right there is just the kind of battle, how the battles look and are in this game. Then here, this is the results page. We didn't lose any Centuriones, so that's good. We did lose 436 soldiers, which is a little bit bad, but oh well. Perhaps I should fight more defensively next time. Probably should. Our army morale, though, is +1 after the battle, so that's awesome. Hey, we gained +8, and we gained 28 experience points. So that's definitely good. And then it just kind of tells you what happened during the battle. And we got 13 denarii, 8 slaves, 27 rations, and whatever this is. Okay, we got some salvage material, spoils of war. I think that's going to be used in crafting later once we finally get ourselves a blacksmith, which we do not have yet. But hey, hoo-hoo, we won the day. Let's finish moving up to our mountaintop ruins so we can have this secret meeting. And I would bet anything that he's already seen through our guys, and he's probably showing up with a trap of his own. That's just kind of what I'm feeling here. Feel like I want to. Alright, so if it is a trap, as I'm suspecting, then we're probably going to want a little more survivability. Right? Maybe? I think. No, we're going to take the archer. Give us a little more ranged damage. Alright, he's actually injured. You're not here. So let's go with Lucius Aemilius. Lucius Aemilius. Well, here's our friend.
You? What is going on here? I did not expect such low deception from a Roman. What do you want? Surely you have not lured me out here just to kill me.
You can keep your life, traitor, but nothing else beside it.
Curse you, woman. I should have known you were behind this all along. Do you not understand that everything I've done was to ensure the safety and prosperity of Musia?
My husband was not perfect, but he was a good man and a wise ruler.
Please, Roman, you have been manipulated. Maro was utterly indifferent to the needs or wishes of the people. He governed only to enrich himself and his closest friends.
That's kind of the bottom line right here, right? What way are you better?
Everything I've done was to protect our people and our city. Maro wanted to throw away the lives of our young men. No one but him wanted this war.
My Maro didn't want a war either, but Mithridates did not request our opinion. Kitsikos held against Mithridates as we should have!
We are not Kitsikos. Thousands would have died for nothing, and the city would have burned. I can make this happen. By Apollon Alexikakos, with Rome fighting beside us, we will drive Pontus from our lands.
You can't! I demand justice for my husband! He's only saying these things because you have a knife to his throat. He'll turn on you just as he turned on us.
Kind of feel like this is the right option. Huh. All right, we're gonna apprehend her and leave him where he's at. I guess if we're going to have somebody return him, it should be... Yeah, I suppose you...
You son of a whore! You can't do this to me! I demand justice!
Thank you. You've made the right decision. I will begin the preparations to withdraw from our alliance with Pontus at once. Please meet me back at the temple. There is one more thing we must discuss.
Seems like a good guy, but the way he said that, it's kind of like, I don't know if I made the right choice here. More like, meet me back at the temple where I can have you killed before you try to have me replaced again. The one thing I don't like very much is how this works as well. A little bit annoying. I would much rather click on the face over here just to fill up the circle. It's a small gripe, but it's there. Dismantling items. Dismantling a unique item will return a unique crafting material that you could then use to craft a higher tier version of that item. Nice. Of course, first we have to get our hands on a blacksmith. Are these? I guess it's only one soldier. Up two. I don't remember there being these soldiers
Make
before.
the right choice back there. Musia will be safe and prosperous under my stewardship. The people know I care for their well-being, and that I will be a strong representative for them in our dealings with Rome. I have already begun writing the declarations of withdrawal. But first, I have an opportunity which I believe will give you a leg up against your foe. You are wise too. He is a formidable warlord, and I can get you into his camp unnoticed.
Why would I want that?
The possibilities. To see his forces up close, to search your enemy's quarters. Who knows what you will find in his tent? There is no catch. I just need you to do one small thing while you're there. A contract was written between Mithridates and Musia. I need that contract to be found and destroyed. It promises that Musia will gain control of Troas after the war is at an end. That is precisely what I fear. A small group of Pontic scouts are camped nearby. Kill them and use their uniforms to disguise yourself. I would recommend that you go by yourself and get a first-hand impression of his forces. You may be able to bring one of your most trusted people as well.
Not a bad plan, if I'm being honest. Bold, but the best spycraft always is.
I'd expect it to be found in the king's personal tent. Our alliance is not based on such close trust. I would never be allowed inside his command area. If you are fortunate, you may get to meet the king himself while you are there. Please don't do anything rash if you see him, however. You will be surrounded by his soldiers.
Mithridates Megas is known as an excellent general. He's the first of Rome's enemies in a long time to truly threaten the peace of the Republic.
Hey, Nicola, good morning, or I guess good afternoon to you, sir. So glad you could join us. Actually, good night to you. Anyways, so far the game's actually been pretty awesome. It might not be exactly to your liking. There are no fantasy elements, no magic, no monsters, no wizards, no kineticists, no tieflings, you know, no scantily clad women warriors riding around on dragons, nothing like that.
Please do. In the meantime, I will work towards withdrawing Musia from the siege of Kitsikos.
And yeah, the character building and whatnot is nowhere near as in-depth as it is in you know, Pathfinder. Of course, almost no game is in-depth as it is in Pathfinder. But yeah, the character building and stuff is definitely much more basic, but the depth of the combat is actually, I would say, quite a bit deeper than Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. The way that your units can kind of play off of each other and move around, and you actually can use cover, and there are tactical things that you can do. There's just a lot of ways to manipulate the battle system into your favor, and a lot of things to consider in battle as far as the terrain and your surroundings go. And I would say that that's definitely where this game shines so far, is the actual, like, in battle combat is hella fun and very well done. I got it right the first time then. Good afternoon. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Everybody has their things that they do and don't like. It actually is, does seem to be trying to stay fairly well true to history. I'm not saying in the actual content of the story, but as far as the units that you get, the classes that you get, even like the equipment that you find, you know, like all of that seems to be historically accurate. And even down to the dialogue, like they don't pronounce things as we do in modern day English, like they pronounce things like they would have back then. I mean, they're not full on speaking Latin, but yeah. Some of the people that were on the stream last night seemed to really like that part of it, the historical aspect. It seemed to be some of their like favorite things about it. But I know that that's not for everybody. And personally, I do prefer a fantasy feel to a historical feel, but I've done so much fantasy lately that it is kind of refreshing to do something a little bit different. Oh, I didn't realize I had this quarry. Yeah, let's go take the quarry, definitely. Did not realize that. Already got the tannery. All right, let's go get these scouts. Yeah, I don't think that I would enjoy it if it was like full on Latin. Yeah. But the way that they do it with the pronunciation of the words and stuff, at first it bothered me a little bit, like the first couple of hours, but now it's actually grown on me, and I think it adds kind of a lot of flavor to the dialogue and to the game. You know, it gives it like its own like personal kind of unique feel, if that makes sense. As your horse follows a winding path along the mountain, you pass a Greek woman picking apples on the side of the road. She glances at you as you ride past her and nods respectfully. By chance, you turn and look behind you a moment later and she's gone. Thinking little of it, you and your party continue along the path. A few miles down the road, you round a bend and find yourself confronted with a large group of women. They are clad in hodgepodge armor and wielding spears, which they are resting on the ground, pointed at the sky. What? A dozen of them are blocking the road, while another dozen stand on the ridge above the path. Think I lost you, Nicola. Did I lose you? I think I did. Okay. Anyways. The Salwe. We mean you no harm. We are just passing through. Is this supposed to look like some kind of robbery? Stand down and go back to your husbands. Wow. Talking about condescending. I am Tullus Pinarius Catalina, Legatus of Rome. Stand aside or we will cut you down. One of the women on the ridge speaks up. She is in her middle age, with streaks of gray in her long black hair. She asks her compatriots to step aside and invites you to speak to her in the village ahead. You ride ahead and find the little village. Waiting for you up a rocky branch of the path You had been following already. A little while later, the women return, and the one who called out to you approaches cautiously. She first asks you many questions about who you are, your station, and the resources at your disposal, until Khalida cuts her off and demands to know the reason for this interrogation. The woman then explains that Mithridates' soldiers came and tried to press the men of the village into service. When they refused, they were all killed. The women are angry and they thirst for vengeance. Oh, we don't have 500 denarii to be able to pay them. Could equip you with Roman weapons and send a few legionaries here to train you. You could snap at the heels of Mithridates' army and disrupt their supply lines. Damn, I wish I had 500 denarii. What happened to your men is a tragedy, but I will deal with Mithridates. You just stay here and keep each other safe. The women gather a little bit away from you and confer with each other. It takes quite a while for them to reach some kind of consensus. Then the woman you spoke to returns to report that they accept your proposal. You give the women instructions for where to find your legion's current camp and supply them with a signed letter explaining your deal. It will be good for the legion's morale to have these determined and vengeful women helping out around the camp. Oh, that's good. We helped out our morale. I like that. Go enter the scout camp. There we go, Nicola. Maybe you can get a look at battle and decide that you like the game here. Just don't know. But if there is anybody out there, then if there is anybody still here, let me know if you can hear me or not. Okay, I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. Now, it seems that everybody actually is gone. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I think I'm going to... I don't know. I think I'm going to uninstall OBS and then reinstall it. Because we had several crashes last night. And now we had this one this morning. And yeah, I don't know. I think it just might be time to do that and see if that helps. You know, so we'll be doing that, and hopefully we will not have this issue the next time that we're all together. All right, this has been Chris with Lorespire. Be well, my friends.